Welcome. I'm here at the Abilities Expo here in Toronto. I'm with one of the co-owners for the Abilities Expo, David Korse. Thank you so much for your time, David.
It's my pleasure. Welcome to Toronto.
What I want you to talk about, I know this is the first time ever you guys have expanded up to the north here in Canada. Welcome to Canada, first of all.
Thank you.
And what I want you to talk about is the history of the Abilities Expo. I know that you've been in Houston, you're going to DC, you're going to Chicago, LA, you're going over to metro part of New York, and the list goes on and on.
Well, thanks. The shows are going to have their 38th anniversary coming up next month when we're back in Los Angeles. Abilities Expo was an accident that happened in 1979. There was a guy who since passed away who was very frustrated that he couldn't find a selection of products at his local dealer in San Diego. And he came up with this silly idea of organizing a trade show, hoping that all the East Coast manufacturers would bring their best new products to California so he and his friends could go shopping. Never planned for it to be a business, and held the first Abilities Expo. His concept was keep the word disability out of it. It's what you can do, not what you can't, and have a giant community event for the disability community. And it happened in April of 1979 at the Los Angeles Convention Center. It was such a success that he and his family started running them on purpose, expanded to what's called the New York Metro event. It's actually in Edison, New Jersey, about 5 years later, and sold the company to a small event organizer, got sold a couple of more times. About 9 years ago, my business partner Lou Schomer and I became aware of the fact the shows were for sale again. We kind of fell in love with the concept of Abilities Expo. We both have a background in the exhibition business. So in 2008, we acquired what was then a two-show portfolio, just Los Angeles and New Jersey. And since then, we've grown to 7 shows around the United States, and you've got most of them: Los Angeles and San Mateo in California, Chicago, Houston, Boston, Washington, D.C., and in New Jersey. And we did a partnership with a Canadian event organizer called Can East Productions. They're based in Ottawa, to bring Abilities Expo north. Several of our exhibitors said there's nothing like this here. You need to come to Toronto. It's a bigger market than Chicago or Houston, which it is. We signed the deal last year, and this is day 2 of what looks like it's going to be an annual event here at the International Center near the Pearson Airport.
Hopefully you're expanding to other cities here in Canada. I know at the show this weekend you had some people showing how to dance in regards to wheelchair. You've had basic exhibitors showing basketball wheelchair. We're going to show rugby wheelchair coming up. And there's so many, the list goes on and on. Golf, in regards to people that have the, how they can play golf, the disinformed. You don't use the word disability because anyone's able to play golf.
Well, I think it's the case of everything. That there are several components that all the shows have in common. We do consumer workshops at all of the events. And just as you remind everybody, admission is free. Parking is free. Attendance at our workshops is free of charge. The events that take place in our event arena, like golf that's taking place behind us right now, are free of charge, and they're all designed to be interactive and accessible. So somebody will talk about, you can play golf no matter what or who you are. Let me show you how it works. Now why don't you come out and try it? We're going to do wheelchair basketball. Let me show you how it works. Do you want to give it a try? We have a service dog demonstration. This is how it works. Do you want to come out and meet the dogs? We've done equine therapy with horses on the show floor doing programs. All things you can't even imagine. We've had fencing, we've had archery. We once had a senior citizen kazoo band performing. So it's about finding the most activities we can that are available, that are accessible, letting people experience them in the hopes that they'll want to do more after the show.
I know in the Facebook page that the Abilities Expo has an awful lot of videos out there with truly inspirational individuals. I highly suggest that people go check out the Facebook page because there's some videos on there. I really wish that these people would have made it to the Expo this year, maybe next year or the years to follow. I was wanting to give you, if you can give us a quick list of, let's say the top 5 people that really stand out in your mind over the years.
Oh my. The problem with the top 5 list is I'll have 50 people angry at me for not including them. Well, you've already interviewed Auti. Auti is our dance ambassador. She's been all over the world with us. We actually took her to Singapore for a special event a few years ago. We have half a dozen other dance groups. Todd doing the golf demonstration. He's one of the leading professional golfers and trick shot demonstrators in the world. We've had, I don't know how many Paralympic medalists that have come and not only showed their medals, but shared their stories and showed people how to do what they do. We have a young lady named Angela Madsen, who's based in California. Angela was a Marine. She got injured playing basketball. The surgery went sideways. The end of the story is now she's in a wheelchair, and her first thought was, maybe now I can be in the Olympics. And since then, Angela has not only been in 2 Paralympics as a rower, and she teaches rowing as part of her therapy, but she did a solo row by herself. Took almost 2 months, or over 2 months, from California to Hawaii by herself. So we meet these inspirational people who continue to do exciting things in their lives, irregardless of anything else. And I think she probably would have been just as incredible if she'd stayed able-bodied as a Marine. But this gave her an opportunity and a voice, and we have folks like that who come to every one of our shows.
I want to thank you for your time and keep going with this amazing expo, and looking forward to next year too. And thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure. It's www.abilities.com.